Today, we're going to take a look at XRP, but before that, I want to check out Bitcoin and show you what happened with it. If you've been following our videos, you knew that Bitcoin could reach $60,000. And that's exactly what happened. Bitcoin hit $60,000 after we made a video about it. I recommend you watch it. That's our previous video, because in it, we talk about what might happen next with Bitcoin. Can Bitcoin drop further? Absolutely. But right now, at this moment, Bitcoin is showing a bounce upward. Bitcoin almost dropped to $60,000. Right now, Bitcoin has bounced back to $68,000. And we can see that a pattern is forming, a descending wedge. We might see Bitcoin reach the upper line of this wedge. That's about $83,000. And then we'll see what happens next. If there's a pullback, Bitcoin could drop all the way down to $54,000. I think the main bottom for Bitcoin will be right here, and that will be closer to the fall. That's why I strongly recommend you pay attention to our Bitcoin analysis, not just our XRP analysis. When we know the full picture of the crypto market, then we know where a particular altcoin is headed. That's often how it works. So you need to be able to look at the crypto market as a whole. And that's impossible if you don't watch Bitcoin, if you don't look at the total crypto market cap, the altcoin market cap, Bitcoin dominance, USDT dominance, and also take into account fundamental factors like US macro data and Federal Reserve policy. A complete view of the market consists of all these factors, and we're here to learn how to see them. As for Bitcoin, that's the brief situation as of today. We'll break it down in more detail in our upcoming videos, so I invite you to join our YouTube channel and be sure to turn on notifications so you don't miss our new videos on crypto market analysis. Now I'd like to move on to the XRP chart. Take note, in previous videos we mentioned that XRP could drop down. If you watched the last video about XRP, then you knew this could happen. So XRP dropped to $1.13. Is this critical? No, absolutely not. Besides that, we believe that the bear cycle on altcoins is already ending or is about to end. At this stage, Bitcoin is moving exactly as it should in its cycle, but the cycle for altcoins has shifted. Right now, at this time, we should have seen altcoins going down after the alt season, but instead, we saw that altcoins have almost hit the bottom and finished their bear cycle. They haven't finished yet, but they're already close to the bottom. Hold on to your coins. Don't sell them at a loss under any circumstances. You can only exchange them for other, stronger coins, and I recommend you do that. How do you do that? Go to our messenger channels. You can see the QR code on the screen right now, and as a bonus there, I'll give you some altcoins that you can add to your portfolios. So friends, nothing critical has happened to XRP. If you look at the full chart, XRP has dropped locally. But what did we do during this drop? We made money on XRP, and I want to show you how we did it. We took short trades on the hourly time frame. Right now, you can see the local support and resistance zones. We entered a short right here, caught this move, then waited for this pattern to form. This pattern is called a wedge with pressure from above. Patterns like this often break downward. We saw the pattern break and entered another short. Let's switch to the 4-hour time frame. We held the short down to this level, 0.18. This is the 27 zone, which often sees a bounce, but XRP went even lower. A good profit was already locked in here. This was the third leverage, but XRP dropped even further and reached its main target, 0.618. Of course, we can't know exactly how low XRP might go. We can see the Fibonacci targets, and we see how XRP reached the 0.618 target. What happened after that? We can see it too. XRP bounced back up. You could have entered along here and taken this nice profit. That's about 30%, but if you used third leverage, that's 90%. I strongly do not recommend trading with leverage if you don't have experience trading on spot. We always trade on spot with our members in another community. Only with a few people do we allow ourselves to trade with leverage. These are people who already have the right mindset, who aren't afraid and aren't driven by greed. And we know that in trading, fear and greed are the main sinful passions of a trader. So if you want to make money, get rid of fear and greed. Do whatever you want. Take psychological training if you need to, but get rid of fear and greed. Only then will you be able to trade profitably. What can we expect next from XRP? If Bitcoin, as we looked at earlier, recovers to $80,000, then XRP will also go up. XRP will return to the levels it fell from and maybe even higher to $2, $2.50, maybe even back to its previous highs. And notice how everything's connected. We just looked at how Bitcoin might bounce up, which means XRP will also bounce up. But if Bitcoin drops to 54, as we saw earlier, then XRP could fall to 80 or even 70 cents. When the bounce happens, and I think it should, at that point, we'll consider a different scenario, whichever one is most relevant at the time. So keep following the channels and you'll never miss anything. Our video is coming to an end. I wish you a great day and lots of profit.